Joining us on the midweek edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Dan-Ikpoyi, and joining me this morning is Kemi Fola-Adeyemo. Kemi is the midweek edition of TVC Breakfast, and it's good to have you here this morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Now, let's quickly touch on some developing issues with regards to the fuel subsidy, because it's one of the matters affecting every Nigerian, so to speak, and it seems states are coming up with ways to cushion the effect on their citizens. We have seen Kwara State declare that as against 5 working days, workers should come to work 3 days, and they have said that it will be monitored, strictly monitored, to ensure productivity and that people do not take advantage of what the government is trying to do to cushion the effect. And now we are seeing Edo State doing the same line. The governor has increased salaries from 30,000 naira to 40,000 naira, also reduced the number of working days for staffers to 3 working days as against 5 days.
Decreased, yes.
Decreased, rather, 3 working days as against 5 days. And then he also looked at the matter of virtual classrooms for students, parents, and families and teachers, that they will be deepening that such that students can also take advantage of virtual classrooms. Parents would not have to spend as much for transportation for their children, and the teachers as well.
It's a welcome development, but 2 states out of the number of states in Nigeria is still a far cry. And but it's encouraging that states are looking out for their own. In Lagos, for example, we haven't heard announcements in that regard, but of course there's transport provisions, for civil servants, as well as other provisions that the state government has done. And I know that, trailing back from the COVID time, a number of persons still observe about 3 to 4 working days per week. But we are looking out on, we're hoping that more and more measures to ameliorate the impact of the fuel scarcity will abound. With the fuel subsidy removal will abound, not just for civil servants, because that's also a touchy area for many people. How many people are civil servants? If you look at the percentage of residents in the state, we have people in the non-organized, the non-organized labor sector. So those people, who is capturing those people, even with the talks with the federal government and the organized labor sector, who is speaking for those in the non-formal, those in the informal sector, who is speaking for them, who is speaking for those in the private sector as well. So we hope that, more and more employers of labor will take advantage of this. It's tough for everyone, really. Generating income is tough at this point, but there are options that people can explore.
Absolutely. And you have said that 2 out of 36 states have taken the steps. We believe that in the coming days, some other states will also take advantage or look at how to cushion the effect for their citizens. And we're looking also at what Lagos State will be doing. And some businesses have begun, private businesses have begun to also look into this matter of work from home, come work for 3 days, a certain number of days, as we hear the reports we are getting. And so we know that some private organization will be taking that step. And then with regards to increment in salaries, the negotiation federal government is having with organized labor, it might be difficult for some private organizations to say, okay, we will be increasing salaries. So they might want to take up measures like this to cushion the effect. If we tell you, come to work for 3 days, we ensure you're productive and you do your deliverables and everything, yes, I think that will work for us as against increment in salaries. So they might be having that arrangement with their staffers. But then if some organizations, if some persons are pushing for increment in salaries, then we might be having a situation where some organizations might be cutting down on the workforce.
That is definitely not going to be a welcome development. We've even seen from what you said at the onset that a state like Edo State is saying that they are going to make sure that your 3 days that you have to come to work, you come to work promptly. So we're going to see employers on edge at this time if they will have to cut the employees some slack.
If you fall short,
yes, the employees.
If you fall short, the hammer will come down on the employee.
But that threat has always been there.
Right.
One could argue that it could now be more intense at this time, the threats of job losses. But we sincerely hope it will not come to that. And speaking of measures now, thankfully Lagos State schools are on break all through the week. So that is also one of the welcome developments. And we're hearing that schools are now considering rushing the remainder of this third term now, so that they can at least, everyone can go home, and the hurdles of, commuting, transporting your children to and from school and may not be, will at least for the whole of this June, and then July holidays can begin proper, which is faster than usual. But then exigencies
and to perhaps
demand
plan out how they will moving forward.
Right,
because with the situation, the realities on the ground, they have to plan if they are going to have virtual classrooms, which some schools have not yet adopted with regards to what we saw in during the COVID. It was a struggle. So what is going to happen now? Are you going to put structures in place to now begin to look at having virtual classrooms as it is beyond primary and secondary schools? How about higher institutions? We are not even looking at that. What are the plans for those ones as well? So I guess that institutions will be looking inward at how to address this matter of fuel subsidy to cushion the effect for themselves and look for measures that will be beneficial to them.
True, because we also hear analysts, people have also, called on other stakeholders to not leave this issue of easing or cushioning the effect of the fuel subsidy on just the government, but even private individuals should also do the needful and look out for others.
Absolutely. And we believe that in the coming days, we'll be seeing